Welcome to Know Your Mobile. I'm Basil, this is a BlackBerry Z10, this is the iPhone 5, and we're comparing both of these fantastic new phones for you. Well, the iPhone 5 isn't all that new, but it is definitely the newest iPhone. The BlackBerry Z10 is the latest from the company formerly known as RIM, now called BlackBerry. The Z10 is full of innovation, the iPhone 5 is full of classical design and a very samey iOS that we've seen for a very long time. But which is better? Well, first we're going to talk about the design, and in this round, it's all about the iPhone 5. That beautiful bezeled metal finish on the sides, the display, the classical styling. Yes, it's quite samey compared to what we've seen, but that longer screen really helps if you're watching movies and whatnot. And the aluminium backing makes it feel a lot less delicate than the original iPhone. Filled with nuances, it's definitely a beautifully crafted bit of kit, undeniably. The BlackBerry Z10 copies the iPhone 5 in terms of overall styling, or it may not copy it, but it's very reminiscent of it. Just those rounded corners, that very traditional flat form factor. It's basically like a big plastic iPhone 5. We're not going to lie. That's no bad thing. iPhone 5, great styling. BlackBerry Z10, good styling. The BlackBerry Z10 also has a plastic finish, not like the iPhone. Lattice molded back cover, very nice and grippy. It's very comfortable in the hand. The screen sizes of the two devices aren't that different, only 0.2 inches, with the iPhone 5 being a 4-inch display, the BlackBerry Z10 being a 4.2-inch display. The BlackBerry Z10 is also packing a removable battery, 1800 milliamp, and therefore a removable back cover, and gives you the versatility of expandable memory thanks to that. As far as buttons and ports go, on the left hand side of the iPhone you've got volume buttons and a lock toggle, home button on the front. The right hand side, just the nano SIM eject tray. Down below, lightning connector, 3.5mm jack with a power button up top. Reverse, you've got the 8-megapixel rear facing camera, Apple insignia flash, etc. It's all very standard fare on the iPhone 5. On the BlackBerry Z10 you've got a micro HDMI port and a micro USB port, which is great. You can output content to your TV with ease. On the right side you've got volume power buttons as well as a voice button in the middle. Down below you've got the loudspeaker, which you can actually use as a wedge to get your fingernail underneath to get the back cover off, which we'll do in a sec. Up top you've got the power button, 3.5mm headphone jack. A nice little touch on the BlackBerry phone is the touch sensitive insignia down below. You may see a fingerprint swiping up there. That's because even if the phone is off, swipe up will actually unlock the phone. It's now just switched it on. If we want to unlock it, we need to swipe up all the way, as you can see. Very nice, gesture heavy, and that panel didn't get activated in our pockets, which is nice. As we said we're going to take off the back cover, but that's not before we tell you that there is an 8-megapixel camera on the reverse. Bit of trivia, it's the same sensor that lies in the Samsung Galaxy S3. 1800 milliamp battery, micro SIM SD card slot, expandable by up to, I think it's 64 gigabytes, and you've got the micro SIM tray. Closing all that up, and now we can talk about the displays. Both packing gorgeous high PPI displays. PPI on the BlackBerry Z10 thinks 356 or thereabouts, whereas 326 on the iPhone 5. So pretty similar sharpness. It's LCD technology on both really beautiful bright displays. We'd almost be tempted to say the BlackBerry Z10 looks like it's a little bit brighter, which is crazy because the iPhone 5 is really 600 nits or something display. It's beautiful, but both very comparable indeed. As far as viewing angles go, again, both stunning. The BlackBerry Z10 and iPhone 5 both have displays that look very superficial, though the iPhone 5 maybe a little bit more so. Reading on both is perfect. Whites are very pure. Text looks great. As far as user interfaces go, you've got BlackBerry 10, the latest OS from BlackBerry, and after BlackBerry 7 it needed to be great, touch optimized, and indeed it is. On the iPhone 5 you've got iOS 6, and that is a very safe OS from Apple because it's so similar to iOS as before it. Borrowed elements from Android, but primarily it's just the same iOS you know and love. Well, some of you love it, some of you loathe it. Where the real differentiator comes in is with all the gesture heavy input that's found inside the BlackBerry Z10. So we're going to kick off. You've got the applications drawer on both devices. On the BlackBerry Z10, the home screen comprises of a call, search and a camera sticky. Up top you've got a pull down quick settings toggle bar, as well as access to the full settings. You just saw me swipe an app into the background, and that's because BlackBerry 10 is very, very gesture heavy. If we, for example, want to access the BlackBerry app world, it's connecting, and the SIM card is in there, so it should eventually pull up stuff. We can just swipe it right to the background where it'll sit alongside our last accessed application, and this screen can be filled with up to 8 applications, multitasking. If we want to swipe left on the iPhone 5, we get a universal search, which we've got here. The BlackBerry Z10 is going to be much, much richer. So you've got 3 layers effectively. Apps drawer, you can organize apps into folders naturally, as you can see here. You've also got the multitasking pane, and you've got BlackBerry Hub. This is an aggregator of all your email, text messages, tweets, Facebooks, etc., 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 and it's really useful. If we pull into the hub, we can see all our emails, and we can also do something called a BlackBerry peek. So whatever application we are in, say we're in our settings, we can simply swipe up, peek into our email, close our email, and swipe across. Whoops, swipe that out of the way, swipe across. Really nice and simple and intuitive once you get to grips with it. If you think that's all overcomplicated, then clearly the iPhone 5 is the one for you. Indeed, it's classical. It doesn't try and fix a working formula. BlackBerry needed to innovate in the touch space to make up for their lack of touch optimization before, and indeed they have. It's not the most stable OS out there. The keyboard's great. It did crash for us a couple of times, and certain elements of the phone do feel less secure, not secure, that's the wrong word, less stable than on iOS. As far as the cameras go, in terms of great lighting, both are pretty comparable. As soon as you drop the lights, the iPhone 5 camera definitely wins out hands down. Memory, the iPhone 5 is available in 16, 32 and 64 gigabyte versions, whereas the BlackBerry Z10 is available just in a 16 gigabyte version. There may be a 32 gig version. Don't quote me on that one, but it is expandable via microSD card up to an additional 64 gigabytes, which is perfect for anyone who wants loads of movies on there. As far as movies go, with iTunes you can download loads to your heart's content, but you will be paying for them. If you have your own movies and you want to get them on here, then you will want the BlackBerry Z10. It is loaded with codec options. So you should be able to throw your movies on there with no issues whatsoever. The BlackBerry Z10 screen is also slightly larger, making it a little bit better for movies. Music, again, you've got Spotify and applications galore on the iPhone 5, but if you want your movies on there, music on there, it's all going to be put through iTunes, which is going to be a little bit of a lengthier process. The BlackBerry Z10, you can throw all your music on there at will. Although if you do like Spotify, you do like Netflix, all those services, those applications aren't yet available on BlackBerry OS and BlackBerry 10. And indeed, applications in general are considerably richer on iPhone. As far as performance goes, both phones have dual-core processors in them. The iPhone 5 has the new Apple A6 processor. The BlackBerry Z10 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, and they both perform perfectly adequately. What we found with the BlackBerry Z10, more than a performance issue, was a stability issue. Given this is the first release of BlackBerry's latest software, newest OS, sorry, it's not surprising that there are a few issues here and there. We found that stutters didn't really occur too often, but sometimes applications would just crash, like the camera, for example. When we multitask the camera, we definitely found it didn't play nice with our multitasker, and every now and then would just completely freeze on us. That said, as we mentioned, anyone looking for a fantastic, gorgeous, innovative new touch experience should try out the BlackBerry at least, if not necessarily go straight in the shop and buy one, which you could well do if you like it. As far as other key elements go in terms of call quality, both sound absolutely great. The BlackBerry has HD voice, and that certainly makes the audio quality very, very comparable with the iPhone 5. Other highlight elements aren't really worth mentioning. If you've got any questions, if you feel there is anything that we have missed out, please fire us a comment below and we will endeavour to answer. But as it stands, I've been Basil. This has been the BlackBerry Z10 iPhone 5 comparison. BlackBerry Z10 is the one if you want to go for a handset which is maybe a little bit more experimental. It's got great features, but it isn't anywhere near as developed in terms of application support. The iPhone 5 is the simpler one to go for if you don't want to think too hard. It does pretty much everything for you across the board, and there is a whole bunch of applications out there that you can take full advantage of. Thanks for watching Know Your Mobile.